Just received this book as a loan from Mount St. Bernard Library, Abbey Library. Christ, the Ideal of the Monk by Abbot Columba Marmion. This guy wrote some amazing works. I have the Christ, the Life of the Soul, and Christ and His Mysteries. I remember reading from him in seminary, very old world feel, very classical and yet modern writer. This is the third edition, 1926 imprimatur. Yeah. So they gave me the book with some trepidation and like, look after it because it's our only copy left. It's a difficult book to get, although Amazon have come out with a paperback new edition, which translates the Latin, and also a hardback. Because it's a brick of a tome, it's about 30 something quid for the hardback, the paperback about 20 something. Price of a good steak. And I'd rather have the book. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, so he begins to seek God, which is from the Rule of Benedict, the prologue, which is all about if you are genuinely seeking God, si rivera querit Deum, if you are really and truly seeking God, then that has to be the number one criteria to knock at the door of a monastery and ask for admittance. And I would argue even to come in as a visitor. God can purify our motives for sure. I met one monk back in the day in Ireland who said the reason he joined in the 50s was to secure 3 square meals a day. Because outside it was not a given that that would be the case. And who knows, maybe the way the world is going, our monasteries will end up full once again with young men looking for a square meal, looking to secure 2 or 3 square meals a day, and yet God can work and purify those motives. Si rivera querit Deum. You know that every man, he says, as a free and reasonable creature, acts from some deliberate motive. Let us imagine ourselves in a great city like London. At certain hours of the day, the streets are thronged with people. It is like a moving army. It is the ebb and flow of a human sea. Men are coming and going, elbowing their way, passing to and fro. The principal time is money. Each is searching, he says, for his own thing. Some are looking for fame, fortune, glory. Some are looking for pleasure and pursuing that. He says the vast majority are simply looking for their daily bread. Some are looking for friendship, companionship, distraction. From time to time, he says a lady goes by from the Sisters of Charity who seeks Jesus Christ in the person of the sick. Unnoticed, a priest passes by, the pyx hidden upon his breast as he carries the viaticum to the dying. But out of this immense crowd pursuing created things, only a very small number are working for God alone. And he says it's all about our motives. 2 men set sail, he says, in the same boat. One is going to the West Indies to seek fame and fortune for business negotiations. Another is carrying the gospel of Jesus Christ. Both on the same boat, very different motives. This is often hidden from our view, but is not to the eyes of God. Are you genuinely seeking God? Are you tending towards Him with all the fervor, he says here at the bottom of the page, of your soul? However little removed you may be from nothingness by your condition of creature, you raise yourself because you unite yourself perfectly to the infinitely perfect being. I remember something quite similar. A priest in our order, when young men would come and say they want to join, and he would say, "Quieres ser santo? Do you want to be holy? Do you want to be a saint?" And if they would say, sí quiero, then, or sí quiero con la gracia de Dios. Yes, I want with the will of God, with the grace of God. So that's all you need. Not qualifications, not money, not, any other thing. You need this desire. Are you seeking the creature, says Don Columbia Marmion here? Gold, pleasures, honors, satisfaction of pride. That is to say, yourself under all these forms. Are you seeking just yourself under all these forms? Then however great you may be in the sight of men, you are just worth as much as this creature. You lower yourself to its level. If I'm seeking beers in the city centre, I become nothing more than beers. If I'm seeking entertainment, and that's all I'm seeking, I become nothing more. I debase my soul, made in God's image and likeness, my body too, for this creature. Then however great you may be in the sight of men, the sight of men we judge based on possessions, how much we have and how much we do. Those who do most, like cogs in the wheel, are treasured most. I heard Thomas Merton speaking of this in an introductory lecture on the vows of perfection, poverty, chastity, and obedience. He gathered up into a book. Then however great you may be in the sight of men, you're just worth as much as this creature that has your heart. A poor sister of charity, a simple lay brother who seeking God spend their lives in humble and obscure labours in order to accomplish the divine will, are incomparably greater in the sight of God, whose judgment at the end of the day alone matters. For he is eternal, than a man who has heaped up riches, or is surrounded with honours, or lives only for pleasures. Yes, there's so much noise about pleasure in the modern world, and yet they are so fleeting, so empty. Yes, a man is worth what he seeks. This is why St. Benedict, who shows us the adepts of the cenobitical life, the common life, as the most strong race, requires, this strong group of people, requires so supernatural and perfect a motive from one who wishes to embrace this career. The motive and ambition of possessing God. Si rivera Deum querit, if you are truly seeking God. To seek God constitutes the whole program. To find God and remain habitually united to Him by the bonds of faith and love. In this lies all perfection. So let us see, and this is going to be the scope of the whole book, as it is the scope of the whole of the Rule of Benedict, which isn't a comprehensive guide, says Columbia Marmion, to all things in the spiritual life. It's simply a guide, an exhortation to seeking God. And this great, great wisdom. For if we truly seek God, nothing will prevent us from finding Him, and in Him we shall possess all good. We live in an age where, even I come up here sometimes, and to be frank, I'm like, where's the spiritual guidance per se? I mean, sure, you can request it, but we live in an age where you might be forgiven for thinking, where is the true church? And I can't find it. And I wonder if it's the one I'm going to, and all of these things. But here's a great promise from a great man of God. If we truly seek God, nothing, not our location, not our politicians, not our government, not our age, not our health, not our marital status, not our bad decisions in the past, not our ill health. Am I repeating myself? But you get the idea. Nothing will prevent us from finding Him, and in Him we shall possess all good. Oh, my great God, you have the ability to transmute all things and perfect all things, and in seeking you, Lord, we genuinely find all that is good. a remedy for the madness in the modern world, a remedy for the madness in our own souls, and peace in any condition.